Okay, I think we are live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Hi everyone, this is Aditya Sharma. I'll be your host for today's session. Welcome to Resume and LinkedIn Review live session. If you can hear me loud and clear, if you can see me absolutely fine, please confirm me in the chat box so that we can get started with our session. In the meantime, I'll also check it from my end. Let's see. Okay, I can see it. So let's see who we have here. Guys, if you can just confirm me in the chat box that you can see me, you can hear me loud and clear. Then we'll get started with our session. Okay, I can see people already live here. So why don't we get started with a brief introduction? So I am currently based out of Miami, Florida. Where are you guys located? Please let me know, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Uday Gaur, good evening from India. Okay, hi Uday. Okay, thanks for confirming, guys. That's very helpful. If you can also quickly invite people in your network if they are also searching for a job, they also need help with their resume or LinkedIn review. Happy to do that. Okay, Chirag, good morning. Okay, where are you guys located? If you can quickly let me know your location, that'd be great. Okay, San Diego, California. Okay, that's awesome. Baditnath, NYC, New York, San Antonio, Texas. Okay. So let's wait probably a few more minutes, guys, and then we'll pick a few resumes to get started. And what job role are you looking for? That's also super important to know. So let me know whether you're looking for a data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, or any other job that you're looking for. Hi, Misbah Sheikh from Dallas, Texas. Memona from Finland. Okay, I think we have a user from Finland for the first time. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, and we have Vanshraj from Delhi. Cool. So guys, also let me know what job role are you looking for. As I said, okay, data analyst, data and business analyst. Okay, what else? How to send my resume to you? Okay, yes, that's a great question. Um, yes, guys, we are going to review LinkedIn and resume in today's session. So you can upload your resume in a Google Drive, and then you can share your Google Drive link with me here in the chat box. Make sure that when you share your Google Drive link, it should be a public link so that I can access your resume easily. Okay. Okay, so we have people searching for data scientist, machine learning, data analyst, data and business analyst. So mostly in data related roles. Okay. Okay. So guys, thanks everyone for joining today's session. And in the next 30 to 40 minutes, my objective will be to provide you feedback and insight on your resume and your LinkedIn profile. So we'll pick a few resumes, we'll pick a few LinkedIn profiles, and I'll try to provide you some actionable insights, some very tangible feedback, and based on that, we'll see how if you want to do more of such sessions in the future or not. Uh, but those who know me or those who haven't met me before, a little bit about my background. So I come from an engineering background. I did my engineering back in India in 2012. Let me share my screen so that will give you a good overview about my background. Give me 1 second. Okay, so a little bit about me. I did my BTech from NIT Jalandhar back in India, then came to US in 2015 for my master's degree. And after graduating from Duke University, it's in Durham, North Carolina, I got my first job at PricewaterhouseCoopers. It's one of the big four consulting firms. I started there as a tech consultant in their data analytics department. Worked there for about a year in Chicago and then moved to Deloitte Consulting in San Francisco. At Deloitte, I worked again in their data science and cloud division, where I implemented a lot of applications and moved a lot of legacy applications to cloud solutions, and got a lot of experience to work in the data science department there. Also, during my time at Deloitte, as part of their recruitment team, where I did a lot of hiring for Deloitte in entry level software engineering, data science, and Salesforce related roles. And then in 2020, I decided to leave my job from Deloitte to start High Counselor, where we basically help people find their job in the US by helping them with everything, be it related to uh, so mostly in three fields like software engineering, data science, uh, uh, and product management. But we help candidates with everything. Either it's related to interview preparation, or fixing their resume, or building their personal brand on LinkedIn, and also we help them with their uh, job search and to help them get interview calls as well. And we work on pay after success model. That means once you land a job, you pay us $15,000 in monthly installments. But this post payment model is only for candidates who have a few years of work experience. So if you have solid 3 years of work experience or more, then your upfront cost will be zero. But if you have less than 3 years of work experience, in a relevant work experience, then there will be $2,500 will be paid upfront and 12,500 once you land a job. Okay, so that's about High Counselor, and that's about me as well. If you, our next cohort starts in a week from now, next to next Monday. If you're interested, you can simply go to highcounselor.com. Simply, you'll find a tab here called Apply to Upcoming Cohort. Click on Start Application. Our next cohort start from 27th of January. Click on Start Application. Fill out this application really quick. And based on your application, we will evaluate whether we want to accept you in our Career Boost plan, which is for less than 3 years of relevant work experience candidates. That means you'll be paying $2,500 upfront there, or we want to select you for our advanced plan, which is $0 upfront. So yeah, apply and we'll let you know, and we'll start on 27th of January. And guys, this plan is only for people who are physically located in the US and looking for a job in the US. Okay, let's jump back to our resume review thing. Okay, so uh, we have got a lot of links, which is great. Let me pull up 1 second. Da, da, da. Which one should I pick? Okay. Okay, so let me pick one of the resumes. Why it's not updating on my end? Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, so that Like, okay, now I can see all the resumes on my end. So why don't we pick uh, Uday Gaur's resume, uh, and we'll take it from there. Or let's pick our Finland user resume. Okay, I don't think I've met anyone from Finland yet. So Memona will take your resume. I'll share my screen, and we'll go through your resume so that everybody gets a feedback. And guys, whatever feedback that I'll provide, uh, please. So there is nothing personal, right? The objective is that everybody learns from everyone else's resume. It's not possible to go to 100 resumes, and most of the time, people make very similar mistakes. So when you will see that, okay, I point out like something in one candidate resume, that might be applicable to you as well. Okay, so I'll share my screen. uh, da, da, da. You should be able to see my screen, and you should be able to see Memona's resume. Okay, so Memona, before we get started, let me see what job role you're targeting. Okay, because the entire resume is dependent upon what job role you're targeting. Okay, for every job role your resume has to be different. So you're targeting a data scientist role, right, as you mentioned previously. So I'll share my screen again and we'll review Memona's resume end to end. Okay, I hope you're able to see my screen and Memona's resume. Can you just write yes in the chat box if you can see Memona's resume, so that I'm sure that you're able to see the resume. Okay, please let me know, guys. Just write yes in the chat box and then we'll take it from there. Hmm. I'll wait for you to write yes if you can see. Okay, I can see a few thumbs up, which is great. Okay, so let's move on. So Memona, let's start with the formatting. Okay, formatting, and then we'll jump into content. First thing, never add your photo. Okay, you never have need to add your photo to resume. Reason being, a lot of applicant tracking system which are used by different companies, they are not able to parse your picture, and they are only able to parse context. Okay, and also it's proven that there is no need to add your picture on resume. Sometimes it also creates an unsaid bias. Okay, so to avoid all those things, the picture should not be added, uh, both for biases reason as well as uh, applicant, to make your resume compatible to applicant tracking system. Okay, second thing, uh, by the way, we'll come to content. Your resume. Let's look at your LinkedIn profile really quick to see how long your resume should be. Okay, so if I go to Memona's LinkedIn profile and I see that, um, so Memona, I'm trying to understand how many years of experience you have. So you have completed your bachelor's in 21, and then you started your another degree in 24. So you have like maximum 3 to 4 years of work experience. For 3 to 4 years of work experience person, a resume should not be more than one page. Okay, so uh, reduce your resume to just one page, guys. It is very important to understand that when a recruiter look at your resume, they barely spend 6 seconds, right? They don't have time to go through 2 pages. And I personally believe that your information for 3 years or less work experience can be must fit in one page of resume. Okay, so that's very important. Second thing, even if you're making 2 pages of resume, then make 2 page of resume. This 1.5 page of resume, it does not make any sense. Okay. Third thing. Now, so these are the two things about. Now, some good things that Memona has done. She has added her phone number. She has added her email ID and LinkedIn profile. But Memona, you're missing one very, very important detail, which is your location. City and country is super important. For example, if you apply with this resume for a job in US, I'm just assuming that you're in the US, right, or in your country. How would they know what is your state? A lot of companies are very particular about state hiring in the same country. They have no idea about whether you are located in the US, whether it's right. So simply write your location. There is one template that I can recommend you. So you can go to highcounselor.com and simply write on the website. At the top, you'll find an option called Resume Builder. I think our website is under maintenance at the moment. But let me try it one more time. I think that's under maintenance. But when you go to highcounselor.com, right at the top, I think you will find. Okay, here you go. So, yeah, right at the top, you will find an option called Resume, and here Resume Builder. When you go to Resume Builder, you will find, or maybe it's my internet connection that's very slow. I'm working from a different place today. But okay, so when you come here, you will find, so look at either this fresher or experience resume template. These resume templates, they're perfect resume template uh, for any applicant tracking system, and they parse really easily. Okay, I think it's my network which is very slow, that's why you're not able to see it, but I'll show it to you once it gets loaded. So you can download a free resume template directly from the website. Okay, that is one thing. Coming back to Memona's resume, now let's start jumping from the top. Summary is certainly required if you have a few years of work experience. Now, passionate data scientist with expertise in AI and machine learning, dedicated to integrating AI driven innovation, proficient in Python, this adapted to working in collaborative. Okay, this is good. Memona, I would highly recommend you to add your years of work experience, because that is your selling point. Okay, so as I can see, you have this gap between 2021 and 2024, right? And if you've actually worked in that duration, you can mention that you have worked for X number of years, like, or passionate data scientist with 3 years of experience. Okay, that experience is a selling point. Make sure, remember it. Okay, super important. Coming to your education section, so you have mentioned your university, uh, 2024 to present. Look here, you need to mention if you would be graduating. So you started in August 2024. Now, if you apply with this, uh, I would say people will have no idea when you would be graduating, right? So I would write December 2025 in bracket estimated. Okay, that this is the time when you will be graduating. Now you have given a lot of space to education section. You do not need to give this much space to an education section. Okay, ideally your education section. Okay, look, so the resume template is here. So can you see over here? This is a very clean resume template which is accepted across the world for fresher, for experience category resume candidates, right? So you can directly download this resume. And Memona, as you can see, the education section in this resume is only taking this much space, which allows you to write a lot about your experience and projects over here. Okay. And here we do not mention about final year project. Maximum we can mention some of the relevant coursework over here. Okay. So coming back to your resume, you can simply remove all these things and move it to the project section. I would also reduce coursework to just one line. Again, understand, guys, less is more. When somebody looks at your resume for the first time, they want to see only very key important things that you have to offer to them. Okay, so if you show too many things, it may not go right with people at all. Okay, and your resume will be more than one page. So, Memona, you need to remove the final year project, reduce coursework to one line. Moving on to your work experience. As I said, Memona, you need to add your work experience detail over here, like passionate data scientist with 3 years of work experience. Your work experience is going to be your highest selling point. If I have to hire someone If I have to hire a data scientist, more than their education, more than their projects, I would look at the work that they have done, because there is nothing better than the hands-on work experience, right? So here you can see, Memona, you have added your data analyst work experience, which is great. Software quality assurance trainee, as well as deep learning intern. Okay, cool. Now, the problem with this section, Memona, is you mentioned, or let's assume that you're targeting a data scientist job position. Okay. This work experience talk about data analyst, it talks about QA, it talks about deep learning internship experience. Okay, so out of these three, only deep learning is related or relevant to data scientist job role. Okay, data analyst is little bit relevant, but not very relevant. Okay, so that's where you need to write more about data scientist keywords and sentences and work experience compared to other work experience. If you do not have, now you may say that I don't have prior work experience in data scientist, what should I do if I'm targeting a data scientist job role? Then you need to add relevant projects over here, and that's the role of projects, to make your resume relevant. Okay, now let's see, you have added projects, but have you added information in the right way? So I'll copy all the content from your work experience and your education section, and I'll again go to highcounselor.com, and we have built a tool which you can find under resume. Scan your resume. Okay, you can simply put your content over here and simply scan this resume. Sorry, you need to select the job role as well. So you select data scientist. So it will tell you whether your resume has keywords related to data scientist job role or not. Can you see? Matching score is just 8%. And on the right hand side, you will be able to see what are the skills that are required for a data scientist job role. And here you can see Python. You have mentioned Python 4 times, which is great. Okay. You have not mentioned anything about SQL, R, SAS, data science analysis, like data science, data analysis keyword, data mining, statistics, statistical analysis, or machine learning, deep learning. You mentioned about deep learning, but no machine learning, no NLP. And similarly, there are a lot of other keywords that needs to be there in your resume, but they are not. Guys, this is the biggest mistake that most of the candidates make. So for example, in Memona's resume, if she's targeting a data scientist job role, she would never get an interview call from this resume. Why? Because when applicant tracking system will go through the entire content, applicant tracking system will check how many relevant keywords are already there in her resume, and when the resume will see, or ATS system will see, that there are only 8% relevant keywords, then it would reject it. So one thing is about keyword, and second, even now if I go to this resume and forcefully put in the keywords over here, that would also not work. If Memona needs to get interview calls for a data scientist job role, she needs to have relevant work experience. She needs to have either relevant work experience, or she needs to have relevant academic projects over here. Okay, now the projects given over here, they are not data scientist related projects. Okay, as you can see, logo detection in high motion sports video. Okay, this is not a data scientist or an LLM related project. Similarly, traffic signs recognition using neural network. This is okay. We can say this one is a data science related one. Or a smart security camera. And again, this was a 4-year-old project. Like, oh, both of these, if you're adding academic project, they should be recent and they should be in demand in the industry. Okay. So any one of you, if you do not, whatever your target job role is, whether it's data analyst, data scientist, machine learning engineer, your project need to be very relevant. That is super important. Okay, and that is where, and guys, in the entire resume, this work experience, education, work experience, and this project, this is the most important section. Okay, now the biggest problem that people feel, okay, now how would I get relevant projects? Okay. uh, Either you can reach out to different startups across the world and ask them that, hey, whatever projects you're working on, can I join you? And I'll be able to, and I'm happy to provide my services for free of cost to you. Okay. So either you can tell them this, or we have one more solution. So we have created, when you go to highcounselor.com, right at top, we conduct live training where for data analyst and data scientist job role, we help candidates complete 3 projects end to end. So we have this person, this mentor, his name is Kunal Nayak. He works at Dell Technologies, and he make our candidates complete 3 real world projects in 3 weeks, so that you can complete these projects and add them to your resume at the end. A lot of candidates have gone through this training, and it has magically changed their job search journey, their resumes. So if you need relevant projects on your resume, I would highly recommend you to join this training. It is also starting from coming Monday. For people in the United States, UK, the price is $299, and we'll also give 3 months of our projects platform access free of cost. Okay. For those who are sitting in India, this cost is about 10,000 INR. Okay. So, guys, getting relevant projects on your resume is super important, because even if you stuff keywords that are required on your resume, your project need to be of high quality and it should be extremely relevant. That's why what we did, we worked with industry people and different companies, and we picked some of the projects that they solve in their daily work, and we added those projects on our platform, and we provide access to these projects where you'll get a virtual lab in which our mentor will take you through the entire project, entire solution code and everything. And once you complete it, you get a certificate from us, and we will also help you add these projects on your resume. Okay. Moving on. So, Memuna, that's a high level overview for your resume. Okay. Let's take another candidate's resume. Okay. Any question, guys, in the meantime? Any question that you have related to uh, the training that I mentioned, or the feedback that I provided on Memona's resume? If not, then we can certainly move forward to any other resume. Let's take one more candidate. Whose resume should I take this time now? Okay, so let's take Lasya's resume. So Lasya has been doing, I think, her master's in the US. I think that's a very relevant background. Uh, uh, it's a very similar background that I have. So let's take her resume. Give me 1 second. Okay. Lisa, your resume is not public. I've requested the access. If you can quickly check your email and grant me the access, uh, then I'll be able to access your resume. Okay. So let's wait until Lasya give us access to her resume, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let's try again. Lassa, I still can't access your resume. Okay, I can access it now. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Give me 1 second. So I'll share my screen again. This is second resume. And guys, today you may not find my voice very energetic or super with full of energy. I just did not get a proper sleep, so I'm a little bit sleepy, but I'm with you. Okay. So I apologize there, but I'll definitely try my best to give you uh, the best feedback that I can. Okay, but I'll try to take proper sleep next time. Cool. So Lasya, uh, whether it's a very different name. So let's start from last year's resume. Starting from a resume, let's talk about formatting. Look, that's so the way Lassa has mentioned her location, Memona. This that's how you need to add your location. It is very important. Okay. So starting with the let's see in terms of formatting. I think your format is right. I would not recommend using two different sections because then it appears as table and tables are not possible. Rather than if you're using skills, I would simply put a section over here, colon, and then write skills, and then the heading colon skills. Okay. In terms of formatting over here, it looks good. You have January 2024 till present. Okay, VRT Management LLC, and then you have project, and then you have your education. You graduated in May 2024. Okay, okay, cool. So in terms of formatting, I think you have utilized this space properly. Uh, but a few things that can be improved. First of all, um, you need to keep the format consistent. If you're writing month and year over here, you need to write month and year over here as well. Okay. It is just it's an important from uh, standardization point of view. Okay, so it is super important there. Second thing, da, da, da. Second thing, skills. If you are an experienced professional, your skills do not come at the second place. Your skills come at right above education over here. Okay, if you're an experienced professional, start from here. Start your work experience and then you go down. Okay. Third thing regarding formatting or the important information in header, last if you're let's see what job role are you targeting. Let me double check that. Can you let me know what job role you're targeting? Uh, Let me go back in the chat. If you mention anywhere, just let me know in the chat box whether you're targeting data analyst, data scientist, or whatever job role, so that I'll be able to provide you better feedback. Looking for a data or a business analyst role. Okay, I can see that you're looking for a data or business analyst role. So let's review your resume with that perspective. Okay, I'll share my screen. So Lasya, if you are targeting from a data or a business analyst role, or say data analyst, as you're result-driven data analyst, let's say you're targeting a data analyst role. It is super important today to have a portfolio of projects. If you do not have portfolio of projects, you are lacking. Okay, that's where you need to build a portfolio. You can build a portfolio on High Counselor, this live training, where you complete this training and you get your own portfolio. Let me show you, or you can also make it on GitHub if you want, right? But let me give you an example of how it looks like. So your portfolio, not this one, all projects. Oh, sorry, view portfolio. There it was. Look, here is view your portfolio. So you need to have a portfolio of something like this that shows what skills you have earned through projects. Your project details should be here. People should be able to see your certificate, and people should also be able to see your uh, code that you have written. And you can add these project details in your resume in a bullet point manners like this. Okay. So portfolio is super important. If you do not have portfolio, recruiters and hiring managers will never be able to see your expertise or what type of projects you have done. Okay, so again, if you want that, you can get 3 projects done with hands-on mentorship under live training, which is starting next week. So you can get it from there. Moving on to last year's resume, so add a portfolio, or you can also have it up from GitHub. If but make sure that the projects you add in your portfolio, they must be recent and of high quality. Then your work experience. Now, last year, this is good, but adding 9 bullet points from a work experience of just 1 year, and that too when you were a student until May 2024, it's not a good idea. It is a lot to write for 6 months of full time work experience, or maybe 1 year of full time work experience. In any work experience, I think adding 4 to 5 bullet points is a good idea, but more than that, I think you should not add more than 10 bullet points. Now, let's see if Lasya's has relevant content and keywords added to her resume or not. Okay. One second. And that's here last year. It's because everybody knows that, okay, in one job, in 1 year, you can do only limited number of things. Okay, you cannot do like unlimited number of things. I would add this much bullet points if I had worked for about like like 4 or 5 years at a company. Okay, now let's select the job role as data analyst and scan your resume. And you have 29% keywords in your resume last year, which is better than the previous one, but ideally it should be more than 70. Okay, and you can see what keywords need to be there and which one of you are missing. So if you're targeting like a data analyst role, and if you're not writing about SQL, that's a bad idea, guys. That's a bad idea. I mean, I cannot imagine last year if you have worked as a data analyst at this company and you never utilize SQL. How is that possible? Data analyst role is cleaning data, manipulating data, and then utilizing SQL queries to identify business insights, and then uh, using data visualization tool like Power BI or Tableau, right, to present it to the leadership. That's the high level role of a data analyst. So you're missing a very, very important key component. Your keywords, your sentences are not written in the right manner. The project you've added is 2 years old project last year. uh, if you have recently graduated, right, your project should be recent. And this is prediction of loan approval using machine learning. Now, this is a very, very big mistake, guys, that candidates do. Last year, if you're targeting a data analyst job role, you should not add a data scientist related project. Why? Because imagine that if I am hiring a data analyst, then I'm clear that this guy is going to utilize SQL, Power BI, Tableau. But if I hire somebody who's more of a data scientist, that person would never be happy in a data analyst job role, right? So rather than different training, one for data analyst, aspiring data analyst job role, and one for aspiring data scientist, because both require different type of projects on resume. So if you're targeting data analyst and if your background align with data analyst job role, like add data analyst related project, do not add data scientist related project. That's a big, big deal. Okay. And as I said, once you complete a project, you get these bullet points that you can directly add to your resume. I don't know where it go, but yeah. Okay. So from the portfolio, you can pick relevant bullet points as well. Cool. So we have completed review of 2 projects, guys. I would like to know what is your feedback on it. If you understood anything, if the feedback made much sense. And as I told you, right, that most of the time you will find that candidates do similar mistakes, right? In both resumes, I think in none of the resume would be picked up for data analyst or a data scientist job role, and we clearly saw why. Because first of all, you do not have the keywords that is required. Second, you do not have a relevant work experience. I know you cannot get work experience, but you can at least do very relevant and the recent and in demand projects, right? So adding those can magically transform thing. And guys, keep very simple template of resume, right? We have made it available on the website. You can download, go there, download it for free of cost, right? And utilize it, because that's how you will get a very uh, high success rate when you will apply to jobs. Okay. I mean, look, imagine you do a lot of hard work in studying and everything, but when it comes to applying to jobs, and now you are not getting the interview calls. I mean, that's a tough thing. Okay, so let's pick another candidate for resume. Da-da-da. Let's have. Da-da-da. Let me see. Let me see which ones I have not taken or would be very relevant to people, like most people over here. Okay, why don't we pick Mrunal's resume? Okay, so copied your resume link, added it. I'll share my screen again. Okay, Mrunal. So, Mrunal, your resume. Let's see, what job role are you looking for? Mrunal, can you add it in the chat box? What job role are you looking for? Based on that, we will review your resume. And Ali Hassan, I will definitely review your resume in the next session. I apologize. We have the time limitation, but you will be able to see that, okay, which feedback is applicable to you. Okay, and then most of the time it's common. Ronald, can you let me know what job role are you looking for so that we can review your resume accordingly? Software engineer. In software engineer, Ronald, can you tell me whether you're targeting front end, back end, or full stack? Which one are you targeting? Front end, back end, or full stack engineer? So, Mronal, you again said like software engineer. Look, it does not make sense, right? If you say software engineer, just think about it. A software engineer can always be, okay, back end and cloud. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, you can never. I won't recommend you that you pitch yourself. Oh, I'm a software engineer. I mean, tell me you're a front end, back end, or full stack, right? It's very important to have a clear division. Cool. So let's take a look at Mronald's resume. So Mronald's formatting looks good. You have your GitHub and the Hugging Face link, which is great. Okay, you are utilizing space well. Experienced software engineer with 3 years of work experience and a solid background in developing backend system and deploying cloud-based. This skilled in this. Okay, work experience you have from January to December as a cloud developer at Arizona State University, um, Boron, California. Okay, and then prior to that, you have worked at TCS for about 1.5 year. Okay, academic projects, education. Okay, da, da, da. Okay. So first of all, Mrunal, I would not say that you have 3 years of work experience, and sometimes recruiters, hiring managers, they take it very negatively. For example, if you graduated in December 2024, that means, right, anything that you have done, this is not a full-time work experience, and it is not counted as full-time work experience. So if you mention yourself as 3 years work experience, companies won't take it positively. So I won't count this, and you will also lose credibility for the time where you have actually worked. Okay, so how I would write it as, like, you have, I can count it like 1.5 year you have full time, and then you have some internship work experience, which is certainly a part time. So I would say you're a 2 years of work experience, 1.5 to 2 years of work experience, right? Now, in terms of, you are a recent graduate. A recent graduate formatting is not like this. A recent graduate's education comes at the top. Okay. If you go to our resume formatting page, different resume formats that we have available. So you go to resume builder. For fresher, you will see the freshers, their education start at the top, and then they talk about their skills, and they come to the work experience. So I would recommend you to change it to this format. Another thing that I can see, you have written 3 line long sentences. This is not a preferred structure. Let me tell you why. I hope I can find a document for you in my laptop. Sentence structure. Resume. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll pull up something important that will give you a good idea about on how to write sentences in your resume. Give me 1 second. Why can't I find it? Mhm. Okay, here you go. I'm trying to find. I created a structure that's very easy to understand. Um, Review. Okay, so this is the one. Formula will do this. Okay, so I'll share my screen again. Okay, so look, this is the most common mistake. Your sentence should be written in a manner like a cause and effect formula. Okay, like what you did, how it was done, and what was the outcome. Okay, so when we go to Mrunal's resume, so you mentioned supervise students' performance, data, coming into AWS through Kinesis Stream by considering end-to-end this, using this, leveraging, you're adding just too much information, guys. I said one thing at the beginning, less is more. This length of sentence is perfect, but anything more than 1.5 or 2 lines is just too much information. Simply write what you did, supervise student performance streaming data coming into AWS, right? Using AWS is this, which resulted in lessen the runtime of the pipeline by this much seconds to 168 seconds. Okay, what you did, how you did, and what was the outcome. That's how your sentence structure should be. Now let's see for software developer role if Mrunal has relevant keyword, because if you're targeting for a backend developer role, definitely your resume needs to have all the keywords that are required for a backend developer role. So I've added backend, scan your resume. Again, your percentage is also very, very less, 29%. So it goes with the same thing, right? Make sure that you add all the relevant keywords. So on this page, we have reviewed more than 30,000 job positions for each of the job roles, and we have identified what are the keywords that are required in different resumes or for different job roles. Okay. So, guys, that was a quick overview on 3 resumes. I hope it was helpful. And for those that we could not review your resume, we'll certainly do it the next time. Okay. But in the meantime, if you are looking for a job in the US and you need any help, you can use our Career Accelerator programs. So you can go to highcounselor.com and you can apply for the upcoming cohort, which starts in 10 days from now. Or you can simply go to project101.ai if you, or like for our live training, as we saw that people do not have relevant projects on their resume. So you need to have relevant projects, and those projects also need to be current. That is very, very important. Okay. So I hope, guys, this was helpful. You all have wonderful weekend, and we will meet sometime next week with more projects, with more reviews on resume and LinkedIn. Okay. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful weekend. Bye.